Hola.
Hi.
Bienvenidas a Super Mamás.
Super Mamás.
This is Paulina.
And this is Bricia. We're moms and sisters.
I have two beautiful girls, Krista, who's 4, and Sabina, who's 1.
And I have a handsome baby boy, Eduardo Santiago. And we welcome you to the Super Mamás Sisterhood.
We're here to help one another, inspire one another, and support each other through the ups and downs of motherhood.
I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Okay, ¿listas?
Here we go.
Hola, Super Mamás. This week on the show, we have another girl boss that just happens to be a mom, Marcela Arrieta from Majestic Bliss Handcrafted Soaps. She comes to share her story on how she took a leap of faith, left her corporate job behind, and became a full-time stay-at-home mom, homeschooled her kids, and started her own business in a matter of 5 years. Her story is so amazing. You cannot miss it. Enjoy the show.
Hello.
What is up, everybody?
Welcome, Paulina.
Well, thank you.
How was your vacation?
I saw you replace me very fast.
Yeah. To the left, to the left. I was actually listening to that song in the morning as I was driving. I have been listening to more music in my car. I've been very intentional about that.
Nice.
Because I was like, dude, I need to start putting...
You know what? Yesterday that I went to your house and Elizabeth, her sister, were there. My kids were there. We were sitting and my daughter was like, "Mommy, this house is very quiet." I was like, "I know. Let's just be very quiet." I was like, "You guys are all three. Like, the three of you are super quiet."
The three of us. I know. Well, one, the baby was napping.
Yeah.
Both of my babies were napping.
Both of them.
Both of my babies were napping. And I was getting ready. And then the only one who's not quiet is freaking Diego. Who you guys shut up. And he was like, "Rah!" And I was like, "Shut up. You're going to wake up the baby."
I know.
Oh, he did wake him up. I'm like, ugh. And I came upstairs and then I was like, Krista's quiet. Sabina's quiet. And she sits down. She's like, okay.
I know, even
Can I go outside, mommy?
Pilar, your babysitter, I was telling her yesterday, I was like, yeah, my house is the total opposite. Like, it's never quiet like this, ever. I'm like, I wonder what it would be like.
But you also have 2 kids, and then one's already older who doesn't walk but stomps her feet. I'm like, I wish I could walk like that.
Like Sabina? Oh, yeah.
She
Sabina.
does it's like almost like she's a little Olivia Pope.
She
does.
Know
how when Olivia Pope walks, she doesn't really walk. She stumps through Washington, D.C.
And she has that face.
Right? Yeah?
Oh, she will be the next Olivia Pope.
So I think Grisa's like Olivia Poping it all the time. I'm like...
Sabina.
No.
Krista or Sabina?
Krista doesn't walk. She stomps her feet.
Oh. Krista. This is hilarious.
Krista's just she's like, I'm like, why? Walk, honey, on your tippy toes. Light. Shh.
Nope.
Shh. She's like, Tia Bricia. Bum, 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 bum.
I know. I kept them outside the whole time yesterday.
No, it's totally cool. I don't mind. I just think, again, it's like, that's older kids. My baby's barely 16 months.
I know.
So I got a long ways to go, man.
Anyway, yes, you're trying to be louder.
Well, I was at least putting music, actual music in the morning when I drove here. I usually listen to a podcast or get really serious. But today I was like, you know what?
Did that that makes a difference though?
I mean, do I look happier?
Yeah, you do, actually.
I think it's also this new thing I'm drinking in the morning. So, okay, you know how I'm always just finding out stuff for the body, and I do it for a bit and then I stop and then I continue.
Yeah.
So
just like dad.
Yeah. Yes.
You're just like dad.
I am so I am father. I have become my father. I'm not even my mother.
No, I'm my mother and you're a father.
Yeah. But there's this thing I found out that's called chlorophyll.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about it.
Have you heard of it? Okay. I
used to have gum with chlorophyll.
Oh.
Clorox.
Really?
In Mexico, yeah.
Huh.
Clorox.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a good thing or not. If it's not, ladies, let me know. The research I've done on it says it's Well, it's like noni, like cura el cáncer y cura todo. You know what I mean? And it's green too.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's como el noni.
Well,
but they're just drops, and they're like super dark green drops. And you're supposed to drink about like 15 a day. I only drink. I put 6 drops in my water in the morning, and I drink like a glass of water. It's supposed to like help body odor. It's supposed to help like detox your body. It's supposed to make you fly.
Well, those like really fancy juice places, the cold press. They sell alkaline water with chlorophyll.
With chlorophyll, yes. Yeah. Which I have. I actually have an alkaline water system filter in my home.
You should sell it.
If you guys want chlorophyll and alkaline water, hit me up. Come to my house.
We'll ship it.
We'll ship it to you. But well, because I have the alkaline filter, I've been drinking that in the mornings.
Oh, that's good.
And then I have my coffee.
Oh God! So you clean your body and then you put coffee in it.
I figured. Like the other day, my husband.
I'm telling you, you're like dad.
I am like dad.
I told him I'm gonna go to Oaxaca in a month, and he's like, "Oh, I need to start working now, so when you come, we can eat like really like a lot of pork." I'm like, "Okay."
That's my husband too, though. He'll like fast for 21 days, and then at midnight he'll like binge. I'm like,
that's what I would do.
I'm like, I don't think that's the point of this.
I have like 3 more weeks, and I'm like, "Ooh, I'm making a list of all the things I'm gonna eat in Oaxaca."
I know your birthday is not too far away.
No, and my anniversary is gonna actually fall when I'm in Oaxaca, so I'm like,
Are you gonna go to Origen?
Of course, yeah.
Your birthday's coming.
My birthday, yes.
But I love that you came to my house this weekend. So obviously, and then the first thing she said was like, "I think I'm gonna plan something for myself this weekend." Oh, cool. What do you want? I don't know, but I want carnitas el momo there.
I love pork. I love pork.
I'm like, wait. So how many? I mean, I'm like, hold on. Like, well, what do you mean? How many people are going to be there? I don't know. Where you're going to have it? I don't know. Like, what are you planning? People are going to be sitting, standing? I don't know. Okay. All I know is that I want carnitas el momo, like,
and the miche mobile.
But that's a given. But I'm like, so you want tacos de carnita and micheladas? Like,
and I actually told my husband,
like, aren't you dieting right now?
I am. Maybe that's why I'm like just thinking about that. But I actually told my husband this, and then I was like, wait, but what is everybody else gonna eat? And then he was like, doesn't matter, you and me are gonna have carnitas and mom. I'm like, okay, fine.
But who's already? You don't. I mean, who?
I don't know. Like, what if people don't like pork? There's people that don't like pork.
It's your birthday.
I know. That's what he said.
Okay, this is what I don't understand. And like, I mean, I guess like I should understand, but it's like it's your birthday. It's what makes you happy. Why should
I'll cry if I want to?
I know, but like, why should you try to cater and like, make stuff like it's your birthday? They should be like, if you don't like
you
pork,
guys are gonna eat cachete and labio.
If you don't like cachetes and ojos, too bad. It's my birthday. Eat it.
Yeah.
Where's your present? You bring my present. Okay, fine. Eat some buche.
Like, I'm actually, I want to have a birthday party this year. I've been trying to have a birthday party since I'm 30. I'm 35. I'm going to be 35 this year, and I haven't had a birthday party yet.
Oh,
either I've been pregnant, giving birth, or just busy with the kids' birthday party. So this year, it's going to be about me, baby.
Well, since I'm turning 30 this year, and it's a big one, I asked my husband.
Sure.
I asked my husband. I was like, I don't want to party, hon. I don't want to do anything. All I want to do is I want to go to Vegas and see J-Lo's
and he said he's going to fly me and Elizabeth as well. Oh, no, he said he's going to send us on a bus.
I don't think in a mandril bus. No, but I don't think he was serious about that. But I told him, I was like, all I want is I just want to go see J-Lo perform.
I haven't seen her videos, so they were like super
oh my God,
legit.
she's like, she kills it on stage. I just want to go and like just be like, oh, okay.
You just want to go because Desi went.
Yeah, true. Okay, well, today we have a great guest, a boss mom, boss woman, boss girl, boss, mom boss.
Marcela Arrieta. Anyway, she's here. She's going to tell us all about her story and how she became a mom boss. And also she homeschools her kids too.
Oh my God, yeah. So let's find out more about Arrieta. We'll be right back. Arrieta. Miss Arrieta. Marcela.
güeritos.
Cómete algo.
What's it called?
El porquis. Or something like that.
As you guys can hear, we're back. As you guys can listen, my sister's still daydreaming about her carnitas.
I love carnitas. What can I say?
And a taco.
Shout out to Momo. Hey guys, you guys want to come to my birthday? Please
Sponsor
hit me
her
up.
birthday.
Sponsor my birthday.
Marcela, welcome.
Thank you, ladies.
First off, thank you so much for the wonderful, delicious, and blissful soap.
They're
Soaps.
Thank you.
I don't know if you knew this, but my sister's obsessed with lavender.
I am obsessed with lavender. Thank you very much.
Everything she has is lavender. Hand soap, like lavender shampoo.
I do.
Lavender, like
Laundry detergent. Dish soap.
Everything.
You name it, I have it
It's
in
like-
lavender.
Well, now you have some.
Now I have
soap.
soap.
And I, as you know, I'm passionate about coffee.
Oh.
We were having a coffee discussion earlier today.
What a trip, right?
I know.
And she brought us lavender soaps and
Coffee
coffee and salt soaps, and I'm like, how perfect!
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To go along with my perfect coffee that I'm drinking right
I know
now.
you
I
guys
love
are
that you
coffee
love
addict.
coffee too. We're coffee lovers.
Yes.
Paulina doesn't drink coffee.
I'm a lavender lover.
You're lavender. You're more like tea.
I'm a tea. I'm a soft tea. You guys are more like. Well, you said that coffee was one of the reasons you have your.
Well,
Your
one
face.
coffee. I want a certain priority coffee.
She's been drinking. She was like 5 years old.
No, we were having a big, deep discussion on coffee. It was like, do you grind your beans? What do you do? French press? Pour over. Anyway, welcome, Marcela.
Thank you.
Do you introduce yourself? Tell all the listeners who you are, what you do. Describe yourself in 5 words or less. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, ya valimos. Well, I was made in the highlands of Jalisco, Los Altos de Jalisco.
That's some of the best
Salto.
tequila. The
Uh-huh.
Highlands.
Charros, mariachi, you name it.
I told you.
Carnitas.
That
That's
too.
what Michoacán, though, huh?
That's Michoacán, yeah.
The next state over. No biggie.
Birria.
Birria. Yes.
Tortas
Carne
ahogadas.
seca.
Tortas ahogadas.
Tortas ahogadas.
All of those
This
and
is like
more.
their food.
Right? So when I was 3, my mom and I came to the U.S. As a matter of fact, we came to Boyle Heights, and that's where I grew up for a few years.
Wow, very hipster of you now.
Right? I look back and I go, wow, how amazing. You know, because it's my where I grew up, it made me who I am.
Right.
Right.
So I was 3. We moved out of there when I was about 7, 8 years old. We moved to Linwood.
Linwood.
Nice.
Yep, Linwood. I went to school there, high school, and then eventually got married.
Like Patty, Linwood.
Yeah, exactly. And we moved to Vegas, believe it or not, when I got married.
Vegas.
Oh, dang.
Me.
Yeah. And then eventually we ended up coming back here, and we settled in Downey, and we went from there. But
you live in Downey.
it was amazing when we were
My
in
parents live in Downey.
Oh, they do?
Mm-hmm.
When they're here.
Oh, yeah.
When
Lucky
they're
them.
here,
One
yeah.
day I want to grow up to be like that. When they're here, right?
When they're here.
Which
live in
brings me
Downey.
to the point where my mom, she moved from Linwood to Texas 8 years ago.
Oh.
So we see each other maybe once or twice a year. And whenever she leaves, I'm like, I want my mommy. I really do. So I miss her a lot.
Me too.
I know. But we see
She's
her a
coming.
lot.
She's
coming this
she
week
comes,
again.
She comes pretty often, my mother. She has a life.
Yeah, she does.
She's like half time in Oaxaca, half time here.
She's in Huatulco right now.
Huatulco right now. I'm like,
She's living the life, man.
See, I
for
want to
you,
grow up to
Mom.
be like
I
that.
know.
Right?
that's how we will be.
Yeah.
So you have your own business. You make soaps for a living. How does one get into the soap business from like having a regular job? Like, how did you wake up one day? Did you have a dream that you were making soap and you're like, you know what? I'm going to try the soap thing.
Well, you know what? Ever since I was a little girl, I've had this feeling that, you know, success is literally in the palm of your hands. You make what you want to make. Everything is there. I grew up with a lot of successful women around me, my grandmother being one of them, my mother being one of them. And what I mean by success is luchadoras.
Right.
You know, they would never take no for an answer. They would figure out a way how to do
Mexicanas.
things. Yeah, make things happen. So I grew up with those strong women around me. And in 2011, I said, I want to leave the corporate world. I was in human resources. So I was very difficult because you were in between the corporation and the people.
Yeah,
and I was
right.
more of a people person than a corporation person. So I said, can I say screw? Oh,
Yeah.
screw this. And I
You
decided,
can say whatever you want.
yay. So I decided to leave. I quit. And I said, I'll homeschool my kids.
How is that?
You know what?
How old were they?
That was 5 years ago, so 13 and 8.
Oh, they were older.
We plucked them from school.
So you quit your job 5 years ago.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
I quit my job, again, homeschool my kids and be a home wife, ama de casa. I was not born to be an ama de casa. I'm sorry, but no.
Some of us are. Some of us aren't.
Right? No offense to those who are and love that, but not me. So, within the second month, I said, no, I'm getting bored. I have always been used to be on the go and do things.
Right.
So I started doing some research, and I actually started another business prior to the soap company. And people started to ask, hey, how could I prolong this state of just relaxation bliss, which is part of our company name? So that was an alternative and holistic healing modality,
Oh.
encouraging people through meditation, coaching, and things of that nature. And somehow, by the grace of God, I got the idea of, make soap. I'm like,
Had you make soap before? Or is this something that you learn?
for the record, I don't like cooking. I do not like the kitchen. Speaking to wonderful ladies here that, have a wonderful place.
Here it is. Here's the worst thing about cooking sometimes is the dishes.
Yeah, dishes.
Dishwasher.
On
Washer.
Saturday, past Saturday, all I did was cook and wash dishes all
day long.
long. I'm like, so I was like, at night, I just wanted to lay down and I just put on the Matrix, put my head on autopilot, and I was like, enjoyed the last meal I made for myself, and I was like, ugh.
I know
I had to cook for the week.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, I can't
not to
do that.
distract from your story.
No, but that brings up a great point. When I was 8 or 9, my mom would always try to drag me into the kitchen. Ben, mija, you need to learn how to cook so when you get married. And I was like, psst. I go, Mom, when I grow up, I'm going to marry a rich man who's going to have someone to cook for me. It actually came true because you see my husband, he's rich in many ways. It's not just monetary.
Money, yeah.
And he loves to cook.
Oh.
I mean, loves to cook. He kicks
should have
me
asked
out
God
of the
for that one.
kitchen. So it came out. But anyhow, so I got the idea. Hey, soap, why not? It's kind of easy. So I did take a class, though, because it involves chemicals and stuff like that. I took a class, and then from there, it really is like cooking. You follow a standard recipe, but then you improvise from there. You put your own toque, like como agua pa chocolate.
Right.
That's really what it is. But I think what makes our company very successful, empire-ish, is the fact that it's mission-driven. And a lot of people want to purchase items from companies who are helping humans and animals.
Right.
And in the process, you get a super awesome product in the process. So, building, I started out 2 years ago from my garage.
Oh.
And now we are operating out of a 1,300 square foot warehouse.
Wow.
Wow.
2 years?
Yeah.
In 2 years. Nice.
That's
Good
a
for
huge
you.
growth.
Yeah, it's
so
all God's
fast.
blessings. It's all God's blessings, and of course my family. So I started in February of 2014, and within 7 months we had signed a huge contract with Whole Foods.
Wow.
So why? You pick up the phone, and you have to go and make your dreams come true. There's this saying, ayúdate que te ayudaré, which means help yourself that I will help you. You have to meet all of those blessings halfway. You have to try.
Right. Yeah.
Just sitting there on your butt is not going to do anything.
No.
Oh, darn.
And other than relaxing,
what?
but being surrounded by those great women
Right.
at
Got
that time,
you going.
because at that time I complained. My mom used to work in the fashion district when we first moved to Boyle Heights. I don't know if they still do, but back then
A
it
lot
was
of women
per
in
piece.
Boyle Heights. Yeah, per piece.
Per piece, cents, like 5 cents a piece.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this was back in the mid '80s, so
And a lot of women from Boyle Heights worked in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
It was kind of almost like maquiladoras, right?
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, and people will get paid. So then when you kind of started from your garage from zero, was it something like, what really, I want to say, like, kind of not pushed you over the edge, but like, what was that? Was it like intuition? Was it like always inside of you that you were kind of like, you know what, I'm doing the right thing? At what point did you realize, hey, the soap thing actually works?
It was mainly intuition. It was something just pushing me, don't give up, keep going. There's something great here. You have to just keep on going. And keep in mind that prior to this, I had many other businesses that failed miserably within the first year. So I don't see failure as a bad thing. I actually see it as experiences. You extract whatever you need to extract from there and you apply it.
Yeah.
So all of that really
It's like school.
Exactly. All of those experiences set me up for the now. So I did question myself because of those failures in the past. You know, I was like, can I really do this? Am I going to fail again? But there was like this intuition, this gut feeling, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. I didn't see it, trust me. I didn't see it in front of me, all the blessings, but somehow you just keep on going and things start to come up. Oh. And then, have you ever read the book, The Alchemist?
Yes.
Oh, exactly like that.
I love that book. I have to
So you
read it
see the
again.
totems, is that what, I think that's, if I recall correctly, the totems or the signs in your path?
Yeah.
That's exactly the
That
best
makes
way I
sense.
could describe it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's such a magical book that I feel like people should read it once a year.
Yeah.
It's one of those books that I think the first time you read it impacts you so much, but I think books are easy to forget as well, and you have to constantly always seek information and inspiration. I think that's one of the books that really makes a huge difference in one's life.
That's one of the books. I think Dad gave us that book. I think Dad gave me that book.
It's an amazing book. And it's interesting when you open the book and you start reading, you pick up on things that you didn't pick up the first time or the last time. And then it just hits
Like
you.
a movie.
Yeah, it just hits you on whatever you're going through in that moment. It's like, oh.
So where is your business now? I mean, you're in a warehouse. How many do you have people that work with you? You have a team. How do you do the business and then your house? How do you keep both your house and your business? Do you have like team?
And your marriage?
Well, that's part of the house. Like, do you have a team around your house and a team around your business, and you kind of go back and forth? What's your schedule like right now?
Well, the business is operated with family, which is me, my husband, and the kids.
Oh, okay. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So I handle one aspect of the business, which is the creative aspect, the customer service, the soap making, and things of that nature. And my husband, who recently retired 2 months ago,
Oh, yay!
he handles all the aspects related to the finances, the administration, things like that, because he's excellent with all of that. He's literally your perfect bean counter. That's what I see him as.
So he didn't retire. You just changed his job.
Yeah. But, we do head to the warehouse. We get there around 7:30 in the morning. By 10 in the morning, we're back home eating breakfast. We go back to the office and we stay there until 1 o'clock and we're done.
Oh.
Wow.
That's
and then you
it.
come home.
And that's it. And we just kind of hang out, do what we need to do as a family, and go from there.
So your kids come too in the morning with you guys to work?
Not every day.
Okay.
Because, I don't really want to pressure them into being at the office 24/7. They need to do their things too.
And how do you do homeschooling? How does that homeschooling fit? Because you're still doing one, right?
Yes.
So how does homeschooling? How do you budget that time?
Well, the great thing is that we took a concept that is part of homeschooling. It's actually called unschooling. Have you ever heard of that? Okay. So,
But you can talk a little
Yeah.
more. We had a prior guest. Her name is Alicia Delicias. And she homeschooled her kid down in San Diego. So she was familiar, but she had just started with the unschooling. So we'd love to hear a little bit more from you.
So homeschooling/unschooling, you follow the same state rules. You have to submit your information, and you get the approval from the state board of education. From there, the difference between homeschooling and unschooling is that homeschooling, you follow the curriculum. In other words, you set a set time during the day, maybe an hour for reading or half an hour for math or whatever it is, the curriculum based on their grade, which is fine. But me and my husband feel that when we applied unschooling, which is, if my son loves music, there's really no point of teaching him how the stars, are made, because that's not where his focus is at that moment.
Right.
So what we do is that we bring to him things that are surrounded around where his attention is at that moment. He's learning math. He's learning art. he's learning many things through music at that time.
Got it. So, but do you set like a specific time a day, like, or is it just like throughout the day?
Yeah. So that's a difference again from homeschooling and unschooling. Homeschooling is that set time, and unschooling is pretty much, it could be the entire day. Even when we go on vacation, it's unschooling. They're learning other places. They're learning about other cultures, other foods. So we, as the parents, we're keeping track and note of this, of course, because we have to grade them at the end of the semester.
That's always been like my question with homeschooling. It's like, you know, she's my child, so I'm gonna say she's the smartest one. So, you know, how does the grading work, and how does the reporting with the state, how does that work? That part is like, I don't understand how that works.
Well, you keep the grades. You're writing them down, and you have to educate yourself, of course. You could go onto websites. Just
so they
Google
send you
unschooling.
materials and stuff?
No, not unschooling. Or even homeschooling, you purchase and you get your own materials.
Right. What I mean is like you have certain materials that are required for you to...
Yeah. Well, again, with unschooling, you're also basing it off of, you know, for example, a second grader. These are the basics that they need to be proficient at by the time that they finish second grade. So, yes, my child is liking music, but what if he goes above and beyond a second grader? So you're also taking note of that. But here's the thing. My 18-year-old, which, by the way, today is his first day of college. Love you, baby.
Oh, that's nice.
When he decided to go back to high school a year and a half ago, you have to turn over the records, of course, to the school. And like any other child, they go through a testing.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what the name of it was, but it's a testing to see their placement.
Yeah, the placement test.
I was worried because, again, I come back to what you said. It's my son. He's the smartest kid in the world, you know? But it turned out that he came out, based on the placement testing, he came out above.
Was somebody else?
That's usually
the same thing,
same
right?
thing. Same thing that was said too. And this brings me back to, or brings me to a conversation that I've had with my sister for the past couple, I guess, months. I saw this documentary. It's like a Michael Moore documentary. It's like Conquering the World or Conquering America. I forgot the name, or
What's next or something like that.
Who do we conquer next?
Who do we conquer?
Or something like that. I'll put the link on our website, supermamaspodcast.com, on our show notes. But one of the scenes in the movie was looking into educational systems of the rest of the world. And Finland has the #1 education system in the world, #1 of all. And a few years ago, not too long ago, less than 10 years ago, they were like number 30. I think that's sort of like where the U.S. is, between 25 and 30, as far as the public system goes. But Finland changed the way they taught their kids, and now it's #1. They went from like number 20 something to #1. So a lot of people are like looking at it and being like, what did they do different? Like, why are these kids like, just why? How? And they said that what they did, the #1 thing they changed was absolutely no homework.
No homework.
Zero
I remember
homework.
that. I saw that documentary.
Zero homework. And I have been against homework for a very long time, and that just kind of like solidified my like my beliefs, and I was like, that's what I've been talking about all this time. Makes no sense that kids have homework. And also, they don't have grades. They don't have grades, and they don't have standardized tests, which I was like, that totally makes sense. And it's so similar to the unschooling that you're talking about. It's basically unschooling. The difference is, in Finland, you get the education for free. Here in the U.S., private schools for kindergartners, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, 4th, 5th grade, that's so important for the early development of kids who should be having this sort of education. You're looking at about $25,000 a year to $30,000 a year for kindergarten. So you can get this unschooling education. So a lot of people ask, like, why do moms homeschool? I'm like, because they're saving $30,000 a year.
Right.
Because the kind of education stay-at-home moms are doing now, or, you know, homeschooling, is $30,000 a year education.
Right.
That people might think like, but how is it not structured, and they don't get homework, and why don't they getting tests, and why aren't they writing their names 10 times? Like, that's not the way the human mind learns efficiently.
No. Well, the school system was developed, and I could be wrong, so we'll do some fact checking. But last I heard, 100 years ago, by the State Employment Department. I don't know if I said that right. So the mentality at that time was, you have to prepare kids from a young age to go into the workforce.
Industrial.
Yeah, at that time.
Right.
But guess what? It's not that time anymore. This is different. Children need to be children. They need to be creative. I'm all for education. By the way, I didn't graduate high school. I dropped out. So do I regret it? Yeah, because I believe education is
Number one. Education is key.
Yeah, I had to
world.
I had to figure out life on my own and the hard way, and I don't want that for my kids.
I think also, I was on vacation. We were watching the Olympics are on right now, so we were watching Olympics, and there were like commercials, and I noticed like there is so many commercials out there now for homeschooling. I think the movement of homeschooling is growing so fast in the last years because of the same thing, because I think people are looking for alternatives, but the alternatives here are so expensive that now people are turning to homeschooling. And I've heard from like a couple of people that I know from homeschooling saying that their kids test like higher than regular, schoolgoers. And that just makes me makes you start thinking, because I recently went to my daughter's preschool orientation, and some of the questions are still like, how much homework are they going to get? And the director was like, oh, very little. We don't push this. Why? And I was like, stop pushing homework. Why are we pushing homework? I think people are so used to that idea of sitting down, like writing your name, like you said, 100 times, like you and I did it in school, that now that like things are changing, people are like kind of uncomfortable with it, and they feel like kids are not going to learn. But I think my daughter went to a play-based school, and I always had that thing in the back of my head, like, is she really learning? But now that I'm with her and I'm spending a lot of time with her I know she knows how to write her name, she knows the letters, she knows the numbers, and I was so worried about that. And she knows all of that, and by playing, and I do believe that their schools are moving to a new direction, but it's going to take some time. So if somebody, if other people have other choices like homeschooling, or if you have the privilege of going to these like super expensive private schools, I think that's the new way to go.
I went to visit the school, and they were telling, because I even just like kids like learning before, it's like, here, let's learn how to write your name. Like in these like forward thinking schools, they don't teach kids to write their name. And I think parents are kind of, well, how are they going to learn to write their name? And one of the guys, the guy who was talking about the school, said, it's very simple. We put a sign-in sheet, and they can sign in whenever they want. And like at the beginning, they just write scribbles.
That's so true.
But eventually, it's crazy. Like eventually, they'll just write their name on their own.
They will.
Yes,
I'm like,
true.
Really?
You know what I started doing?
And we still undermine our children.
Right. We do. Yeah. We do. We don't really believe. I'm telling you, I am very surprised of like Grisa's progress. And I remember at her school they had that, and she would just scribble, and now she writes her name. But what I do is, like, whenever we have a birthday party or something like that, I stopped buying like birthday cards, because I have so many like people give me, and I was like, what's the point? So I just bought like blank cards, and I give her stickers, colors, and I'm like, you make your own birthday card for your friend. So she tells me what she wants to write, and then I put it like happy birthday or whatever, and then she copies it. So now we went to a birthday party this weekend, and she did it all herself.
Isn't that amazing, though?
It's crazy, because
So would that be considered homeschooling?
That's unschooling.
Unschooling.
That would be considered unschooling. You see, I grew up back when there was no technology like there is now. So my backyard was my everything.
Right.
I played in the dirt, creativity.
Right.
Nowadays, with the structure of schools and things of that nature, I mean, think about it this way. If you're sitting inside a cubicle or a box all day, your mind is narrowed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tunnel vision, right?
Right.
Versus you being out in the open and just, you're
Endless.
The earth is your playground. That's really what it is.
Right.
You are the creator of whatever you want to create.
That's
So
big.
if you could give your children that opportunity, I would say do it 125%. David, the one that I was talking to you about, my oldest, He built his computer when he was 15 from scratch.
Wow.
He found YouTube videos. That's unschooling.
Right.
And now
That
my
makes so
youngest
much sense.
just built his own computer as well. The youngest, he's 13.
Wow.
So they saved up their money. They did chores, over a period of about a year, but they did it.
Wow. That's
So that
crazy.
is all part of unschooling.
Do you have any tips for us moms who maybe have kids in regular structured schools, but when kids come home, a way that we could continue unschooling and like kind of try and change the way they look at life after being in school for so long in a structured place?
Yeah, the first thing is don't be scared.
I think that's my thing. I'm like,
Don't be scared. The second thing would be sometimes we think we know our kids, and in reality, we don't. We have to figure out a way how to know our children in the way of what do they really enjoy and what do they like. And then that's where you're going to go from. If they like, again, my youngest likes music, that's where we're going to guide him or bring that to him. And when you do that, it's going to help the kids that are in a traditional public school or private school just unwind because they're doing something they like. When you do something you like, it's not work.
It's true.
it's true.
It's true. Wow.
I feel also like because we feel so much pressure as parents, even to give him structured things even after school, like the enrichment classes. Oh, he has to go to soccer and to like volleyball and to this and to paint and to piano and to violin. Like I'm like, that's the reason why also I didn't send her to summer school. Because I was like, she's been in school all this time. Like, I just want her to just be herself. And we're having a blast. I think I'm going to miss her so much when she goes back to school. But, she comes and she's like, let's go to work, Mom. Let's do this. Like, so she helps me. And she's learned a lot of things in this couple of weeks that she's been with me. Not that I purposely teach her, but we go to the grocery store and she helps me pay and things like that. And you're right. Everywhere is a place that, the kids can learn new things.
Even paying, you could ask her, why did I get this change back? And that's math immediately. So those are little things that you could start kind of wiggling in there, and it gets them thinking. And then again, think back when you were a child, when you got the praise from your parents or someone, you're like, yes. You get those praises, it makes you feel good.
Right.
So, all of those, we're living it with our kids, and we notice that. So I know for a fact that at least it worked for us. But again, being around other parents who unschool or even homeschool, we see the big change and difference in our children.
Wow.
Huge.
Wow.
Is there like a lot of people that that homeschool? Is there here in California?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did not know this, but I thought I was going to be alone. So you start going on Meetup. And you just type homeschool or unschool, and there's a lot of groups throughout Southern California that you could join their events for free or paid. They're very minimal. They go to the Discovery Center. They do a lot of things in a group. So that's another question that comes up. Homeschool kids don't have that interaction.
Social
It's true if you don't put your part in taking the kids to those places, obviously. You're the parents. But if you could do those kind of things, it's great.
Wow.
Great.
I've learned so much. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we are going to have our Super Mama pick or tip of the week. We'll be right back. And we're back. And I want to talk about something that Marcela said over the break about energy healing.
Yes.
What is that about? Tell us.
Heal me, please.
Reach out and touch faith. No. That's why I'm not on, American
Voice.
Idol anymore. Yeah, The Voice or whatever it is nowadays. So, as I was mentioning earlier, when I left my day job to, homeschool my kids, I felt this emptiness that there was something missing. So I started doing some research, and I came across a modality called Pranic, like Prana, Pranic Healing. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Because you see, keep in mind, I grew up watching commercials from El Indio Amazónico. All right, so that
Noni,
scared me.
that's what I meant,
So those scared me because they were like in the whole dress up. All respects to them,
Yeah, Indio
but with la ruda and all of that stuff. So I was like, okay, maybe this is just some hocus pocus. Anyhow, so I attended the classes and I came to find out for every physical issue that the human body has, 80 to 90% of it stems from energy. For example, preconceived ideas, that we can't shake off. Remember we were talking about don't be scared, fear?
Yeah.
Right.
We could meditate, we could do yoga, we could eat the cleanest food, water, but those little voices or those little feelings are still there. So energy healing will and help you remove those.
Oh.
So another way of energy healing, have you ever heard of acupuncture?
Yes.
That's energy healing,
Oh,
except that they use the little needles.
that hurts.
Last time I got acupuncture, I got a fever.
Yeah, that's very common.
Really?
It can happen, very rare, but it happens. It's because your body energetically is releasing all of that junk.
Oh, yeah. I got a fever
Yeah.
for like 2 days after one. I was like, I am not doing that again.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. We don't realize that when we do any of those modalities, all that stuff kind of comes out at once.
Right.
And that's not the way it went in.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So you see, you're like filling this little cup over time or life. But then when you empty it, do you empty it one at a time? No, you just pour it,
Pour it
right?
out.
Right, right,
Exactly. So sometimes the body's that sensitive that it will
So
react.
you do energy healing now?
That
You're
is correct.
And what are the methods that you use?
My hands
Oh, your hands?
and crystals. We never touch
That's what I
the
was gonna
person.
say, crystals, right?
Yeah, I do use crystals on occasions, but I rather use my hand. Through the modality that I learned, as a matter of fact, the founder, today's his birthday, Grandmaster Chua Sui. So he said that everybody has the innate ability to heal as long as you have use of your hands. Again, growing up, I thought you had to have superpowers
Got
to
it.
help, like a shaman or well, not the bruja. I don't
A
want to.
curandero.
El curandero. You saw these people with like X powers. No, you just have your hands. We don't touch the person. We kind of scan or touch your energy field, the aura, the
aura, yeah.
chakras.
Can you do it right now? Or do
Yeah,
you need to
of
be in your
course.
house? Oh, we'll
No.
do it after the show.
Speaking of, do you know who has, in our opinion, the best or most perfect aura represented in a picture?
Oaxacans.
And Jaliscienses.
Beyonce.
Her too.
Jesse Perkins.
La Virgen de Guadalupe.
Oh, yeah, the
You
aura.
see the aura around her?
yeah.
Right. Beyonce.
Well, her
Halo.
too. Halo.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
So if you want to hear more about that, we'll put some information
Yes,
out there.
for
But,
sure.
either way,
Yeah, that's some Illuminati stuff. Halo.
Yeah.
Now I
I'm
get it.
telling you.
it's Illuminati
makes
confirmed, as my kids would say it. But you know what? It's East and West modalities coming together. It's complementary. So when you put the physical aspect, exercise, eating well, whatever you choose to
Yeah,
do,
for sure.
and then you put the Eastern, which is the, energy. Again, I came from a stream of many felt businesses, emotions all over the place, preconceived ideas. And in 3 years, my life
you're
turned
clean.
around. No, well, you're never per se clean, but you're to the point where you're manageable. Your energy is
You're
clean.
clear and
You're happy.
You're just doing it.
Right.
You're happy. You're not feeling crappy
I need that.
24/7.
I need that. That's the one
Especially
thing that
when
I
you're
feel
dealing
new
with
in my
people
life.
on a daily basis,
Right.
Oh
which
my
we
gosh.
do.
That's incredible. Oh, we
I'm
would definitely link that in our website. Okay, let's move to our Super Mama pick or tip. Would you like to go first, Paulina?
I can go first.
Go.
So my tip after my trip, I think my tip would be: I'm sure some people have, but maybe not. Use Airbnb. To stay with family. We actually, every time we go with the kids, we get an Airbnb and we get a house wherever we go. And I love it because I have a kitchen, a living room, a patio for the kids to
Nice.
just go and just feel free. And they like it because Krista feels like she's in a whole new house. She feels
Aw.
like we got a new house for her. So I love it. And, we're going to go to Oaxaca in a month. And I just saw houses over there and they're amazing. So I think with the kids, traveling with the kids to feel more
That's a great
comfortable.
tip.
use Airbnb, guys. Airbnb, if you want to sponsor the podcast,
Hit us up. Hit us up. My Supermama pick. I'm gonna do a pick now that we're talking about wellness and all this stuff. I don't think I've said this before, but one of the things I use every single day, twice a day, is a tongue scrubber.
Oh, yeah.
My sister and I were talking about brushing teeth and oral hygiene earlier today, and I'm like, "Do you have a tongue scrubber?" But tongue scrubbers are key to good breath and clean teeth, ladies. Like I don't floss every day. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't floss every day, but I scrub my tongue both day and night.
I'm scrubbing my
and
tongue
like
right
if
now.
you scrub your tongue in the morning, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, if I wouldn't have scrubbed my tongue, that would have stayed with me all day.
Mm-hmm.
But like you have to actually get like an actual. Don't use the one behind your. Don't think like behind my toothbrush has a thing. No. You've got to get yourself an actual tongue scrubber, and we'll link it up on our show notes.
You told me about that.
supermamaspodcast.com. Game changer. Marcela?
Well, this one is more of a beauty tip.
Oh, go for it. I'm all about it.
So many of us have dry skin.
Yes, I do.
I have found one of the most perfect things that you could ever do, and it's in your home.
What
You
is
get a ripened banana,
What?
Okay.
I have plenty of those.
coconut oil.
Uh-huh.
You could get it at any
Yeah.
store. And if you have essential oils, you could get frankincense or lavender. But
Okay.
if you don't have essential oils, no big deal. So what you do is you mash up the banana and the coconut oil, mix it all around. You form like this little paste. You wash your face. Preferably, you exfoliate. I exfoliate with sugar. Sugar is amazing to exfoliate with. And then you put on this this mask. It doesn't dry, obviously, but leave it there for 20 minutes. Then you wash it off. Your face will be so, what's the word?
Silky?
Silky and subtle. I don't know what the word is, but it's going to
Smooth.
look smooth and moisturized. So you could do this as many times as you want a week. It's amazing.
Oh, it doesn't-
Any
it's
part
not
of your body
harsh to your...
no, because of the
Nice.
banana and the coconut oil. It's great. So you could actually put it on any part of your body.
You have great skin too, so
Thank you.
it works.
So it's great. So give it a try. Frankincense will help with any manchas that you have. Spots, dark
I need
spots.
That. I need that. I'm
Frankincense? Frankincense?
Uh-huh.
I've never heard of that.
Well, for those who grew up Catholic, remember that when the priest came in front, there was like this el monaguillo coming in with, I don't know, like a little lighthouse, and incense was coming out. That is frankincense. It's called incienso in Espanol.
Oh.
You could get it at any natural
so
store.
incienso? To put incienso
but it has to be
on-
frankincense. So incienso nowadays, you could call it incienso anything that's, you light up
Incense.
and, but no. It has to be
Frankincense.
frankincense. And again, you could get that at any, like Whole Foods, Lazy Acres wellness store. Essential oil, you put a few drops in there, and that's great for spot treatment. So you place
to
it
do
only
that.
on the spots,
Mi paño.
day and night, and you're good to go.
My paño is like on my upper lip, and it looks like from far away, it looks like legit like a 5 o'clock shadow. Like I haven't shaved.
Yeah, me
Or
too.
threaded.
But if you try it, I noticed a difference because my dark spots were very dark.
Really?
Because my mom always told me to put sunscreen, and I never listened
Oh,
to
I
her.
know. Why didn't we listen?
Why didn't?
I
Yeah.
used to go to tanning beds. I know. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm going like an age machine. I used to go there. God, I slap myself every time I remember.
But those
Remember
are
that time? Sorry. Remember that time you took me to a tanning bed?
I used to be obsessed with tanning beds. I just wanted to be darker. And I took Paulina to a tanning bed
Right
once.
before our parents' wedding anniversary.
Yeah, and she
Huge
went
deal.
in the- yeah.
Huge deal.
She went inside the tanning bed. She came out home.
I look like a carrot.
She was like, is this the way am I supposed to look? And I looked at her and I tried not to laugh, and I tried so hard to like hold it together for her, but I just couldn't. But the next day you looked great.
I did.
The
look
next
great.
day you looked great.
For a minute, I looked like the Michelada sticker.
oh my god.
But the funny thing was your face, like, is this the way I'm supposed to look? And I'm like, oh my God.
And then you know how they put those goggles?
Yes.
So it was like
You
light.
look like an Apache.
Oh man, Bricia has done some crazy things to me. That's just one of the many
Oh,
things.
right. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you for
here.
having me here.
Thank you.
We're so happy.
and
Thanks.
thank you for the soaps. They're
Anytime.
I
Oh,
can't
my
wait to
gosh.
go and take a shower.
You guys, is there anywhere where our listeners can find your soaps currently besides Whole Foods?
Lazy Acres as well, and coming by the end of the year or January online. Majestic Bliss Soaps.
Majestic Bliss. We'll put the link on
Majestic
our
Bliss
website.
Soaps, and we'll
Yeah.
also, when we do our intro, we'll talk about it.
Not a problem.
But thank you again so much, Majestic Bliss Soaps. Is there a website where they can learn
yeah.
more about it?
Yep, majesticblisssoaps.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, on the internet, so just hit us up. Say
Majestic Bliss Soaps, you guys. So,
Try them out. They're amazing.
all right, we're Paulina, and follow us.
Follow us on our social media, Instagram at _supermamas, Facebook Super Mamás Podcast.
And that's all.
And that is all,
And that
ladies.
is all, folks. Take care. We're out. Super Mama.
Super Mamás. Bye-bye.